For my outside reading book, I read Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, and in this book, a girl named Bella Swan moves from Arizona to Forks to live with her father, and in Forks, she's basically just settling down. She goes to the local high school, makes a bunch of friends, and she takes interest in a guy named Edward Cullen, who is very just quiet and secluded, just like his family. No one really knows much about them, so yeah. And he doesn't seem really interested in her, but eventually he just can't resist himself, and they just keep talking, and she notices that there's something a little bit off about him, but she just can't really put her finger on it. So they go together, they're meet each other's family, and they just don't really stop talking. And there's an event where in winter where Bella is just standing in the parking lot and notices Edward across the parking lot, and then a van comes swerving towards her, and he somehow just magically saves her, stops the car, and then runs away. Uh, so she doesn't really understand how this happened. She was kind of confused, kind of putting together the puzzle of what's different about him. So she eventually looks up a bunch of folk tales from the towns around where she lives and realizes that he's a vampire. And so she confronts him about this, and he's like, "Why aren't you scared of me?" And she's like, "I don't know. I just can't be. I know you won't hurt me," and stuff like that. So he's like, "You should stay away from me. I'm dangerous," but she doesn't. Her fault. So she meets his family, and they invite her to this baseball game that they usually have. So they do that. They go, and they're just playing, and then another group of vampires come up, and they're ones that eat people. And the Cullens, Edward's family, are vegetarians. They only not humans, animals. So they are there, and they're like, "Can we play?" And the Cullens say no. But then they realize that Bella's human, and one of the other vampires takes interest in her, and he just can't resist himself. He really wants to kill her. So they have to find a way to keep her safe. So some of the Cullens go and they drive her away down to Arizona, where she's from, to hide him from her, and the others go to distract the other vampire so they won't find him, so that he won't find Bella. And when Bella's down there, the tracker finds out, the other vampire who's a tracker, he finds out where she is, goes down there, and he acts like he has her mother, so Bella agrees to going to see him, and she just gets caught with him alone, and he tries to kill her, which doesn't work because the Cullens come up and they save her, but he's bitten her by then, so she's about to turn into a vampire, and Edward has to make the decision whether or not to change her or keep her the same human. So he keeps her human. She wakes up in the hospital, and she's confused as to why he didn't change her. Just let her change. And he says that she needs to experience being a human, but he'll do it eventually. So that happened. So they tell this lie to make sure no one worries, no one finds out what the Cullens are. And yeah, that's basically how the book ends. And I enjoyed this book because of how it mixes realistic things in with fiction, and because it's just a high school girl, but her life is completely different because it's fake stuff. Yeah. And I don't think I would recommend this book for everyone, because most people are either really like it or they really hate it. So yeah, that's basically it.